Gathering marketing research data is imperative for marketers to be able to make the best decisions. In this course, we are covering a lot of different ways to gather data through survey type methods, but equally important is gathering data from marketing tools that will be available to you when you go into the job field. And the most popular marketing tool that you are likely to encounter is Google Analytics. This is a web analytics platform that allows you to capture a lot of really valuable marketing research data for your online business presence. Beyond that, there is a slew of other tools, but one that I also want to highlight today is called Sem Rush. I believe the company calls themselves Sem Rush. So SEM stands for Search Engine Marketing, and it is an acronym. So I just call them SEM Rush, even though I believe they do refer to themselves as Sem Rush. So these are the two tools I'm going to cover in today's lectures. In particular, I want to show you how you can gather some geodemographic insights from Google Analytics, how you can answer some different marketing mix questions with Google Analytics, and then looking at SEM Rush, focusing on how you can gather competitor conquest data with SEM Rush. So if you are trying to expand your market or introduce a copycat product from your competitor, or just get an idea of what your competitors are doing, SEM Rush provides some very valuable tools. So let's jump into these tools and see what there is for us to work with. So this is Google Analytics. You should be aware of this. I've shown it to you before in class, but it's important that you understand how to use this, especially for this course. There are going to be some questions on the first exam based off of Google Analytics and some of the things that I'm going to show you here. It is important for any exams or assignments when you're working with Google Analytics that you make sure you select the right date range. So I am going to simply, for this example, use the month of January 2021. So I can select this date range, and now it will be showing metrics for the month of January 2021. Let's look at the actual questions we want to answer. So the first one is, which country has the most views for the entire site? So this is going to be under audience, and then let's see, I believe it is just under the geo menu, and then location. So we're looking for the country that has the most views for the entire site for the month of January. So you can look at the map here and you can see, well, it's pretty clear that it's the United States. And then it looks like India is a dark color too, so they're probably getting a lot of views to this website. But we can scroll down here to the actual data and confirm our intuitions based off of the color on the map. And sure enough, the United States is providing 20,000 users, and 18,000 of these are unique users, so first-time new users that are coming to the website from the United States. Okay, so the answer to that is the United States. If I was to ask the second most, the answer would be India, and so forth. So this is a demographic question, number 2. It is asking, are there more men or women coming to the site, and which gender has the largest amount purchased per transaction? So for this, we are going to need to go under the demographics submenu, and then go to gender. And here you can see visually on any given day how many users were coming to your site from the different male and female genders. And so you can see that men are providing more users on average for the month of January. It also asks us transaction value. So it gives us overall revenue and the number of transactions. And I believe the question I put was looking at per transaction value. Which gender has the largest amount purchased per transaction? Yes. So to answer a question like that, you can create custom metrics inside of Google Analytics. And you could potentially find the answer for this if you drill down deeper in some of the analytics for the conversions. But easiest way to do this is just pull up the calculator. And let's take a look at the metrics for men. So men is this top line here, and female is the next line. So we know there are $29,419 of revenue. There is $29,419 of revenue from men. And there were 348 transactions. So I'm dividing the total revenue by the number of transactions. And that gives me a per purchase shopping cart bundle of $84.53. So let's look at the women. So 17,161 divided by 246, $69.76. So it is clear that men are purchasing more per bundle. And so with this knowledge, you may want to differentiate your marketing to men or to women. So that's some interesting insight that your firm can use to adjust its marketing mix. The next question about geodemographic information is concerning those that live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So how much in dollars did people in this smaller geography purchase from the store? So for this, we want to come back to, there are multiple places you can find this, but the easiest way is to go to Geo, Location, and then you can simply click in. So you can click on United States. Most of these tables will have hyperlinked items in them that, for example, if it's a landing page and you click on the hyperlink, it will open up the actual landing page on the website. But in this case, for the geographies, if you simply click on the geography, it will show you any inner geographies, such as the states for the United States. So we want to come down and find Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is not showing here. I can click on these arrows at the bottom to work through what is called the pagination, or the different pages that are available to me of data. Or I can simply come up here and say show rows. Let's increase this to 50 rows. And now it will show Pennsylvania right here as number 12. So we know Pennsylvania is providing the 12th most number of visitors to the site, and $990 in revenue for Pennsylvanians. But we want to think specifically about Philadelphia. So let's click in again and see which cities it lists. Okay, so Philadelphia is right here. And in the month of January, users from Philadelphia generated $102. So that is some helpful insights. So this is just an example of how you can capture some demographic details on your online users through Google Analytics free software. Let's now move on beyond geodemographic data to marketing mix related questions, such as those around paid search advertising. So let's look at traffic that came in the month of January and see what percentage of that traffic came from paid search advertising. So for this, we're going to want to move away from our audience menu and go down to acquisition. So if you open up the acquisition menu, you can come here to overview, and it gives you a good high-level detail of where people were coming from for your acquisition. Okay, so paid search generated 6,000 users. And you could do the math. You could divide 6,000 by 52,627 to get the number of users that came from paid search, or you can come up here. There's often a summary graphic at the top, and for the search, or for the different top channels of traffic, it is just this, I mean, you've got this great visualization of what you're seeing here below. So if we look at paid search, the green, you can even hover over it and it says paid search, 6,023 users. That matches what we have down here. And it shows that 11.3% of the users came from paid search. So you could come back over here and that would be the answer for paid search advertising. Well, that is kind of the answer. So I'm going to give you a little bit more nuance. That is the answer of users coming to the website in January from paid search advertising, not necessarily the number of sessions. A session and a user are somewhat different. So a session is a period of time. I don't want to go into too much details because that is not the purpose of this class. That will be covered in the digital marketing class. Just know that sessions and users do not always, they're not always the same. However, for the purpose of this class, I will grade them as the same. If you give me an answer that is based off of sessions or based off of users, even if they differ from what I have in my grading rubric, I'm still going to give you credit because I don't need you to know the nuance of that. I'm really wanting you to be able to explore Google Analytics and see how you can use it for your research. So yeah, I'm not going to go into that in this mini lecture. So number 5, if we're thinking about landing pages, so what is a landing page? A landing page is a specific web page on your site that people are first coming to when they visit your website. So for example, let's come over here, let's open a new tab and let's search for Tesla. Let's search for the Tesla Model X. These are the search engine result. This is the search engine result page. If you're on Microsoft Bing or Google, what comes up is called the search engine result page, or SERP for short. If you scroll down, you'll see that there's a lot of information about Tesla Model X. There's images, there's news that you can read. Edmunds is a big car review site. They've got some used Teslas you can purchase here, or if you come up here, they've got prices and reviews of the Tesla. Car and Driver has information about the Model X. But most people are going to simply click here and view the tesla.com/Model X webpage. If you come here, you'll see that this is the domain name. Okay, so it is tesla.com, and then the full URL is /Model X. So this would be considered the landing page for the Model X. And if you scroll down, you can see that they've really optimized this to try to keep people's attention. And they should have calls to action on here, such as order now, that will drive their end goal key performance indicator of sales. Or maybe they might have request more information if it's a new product, etc. So I wanted to show you that. That is, sorry about that. Okay, here we go. That is what a landing page is. So Tesla.com, it would be considered the root homepage, and then a landing page is most often a page that lives within the website. However, if people are coming to the root domain name, then that is also considered a landing page for the purpose of Google Analytics. So our question is, of the top 10 landing pages based on sessions, which one had the second highest conversion rate? The second highest conversion rate. Okay, that's kind of cryptic. Let's take a look at this though. So we are wanting to see landing pages, and I believe that lives under the behavior menu. Behavior means, it kind of means once they've come to your website, what is happening? So we look at who is coming to your website in the audience menu. Acquisition is how are people getting there? And then the behavior menu is what are people doing once they've come to your website? So the submenu under site content, I believe this is where landing pages live, and it is. It is right here. So you would click on landing pages and it will show you the top 10 right here, top 10 landing pages. Like I said, /home, this is most likely the main page for the Google Merchandise Store. And we can verify that by clicking this little link. So if you click this, it will open up the actual Google Merchandise Store. And yes, this is the home page. So for the purpose of Google Analytics or any web analytics, the home page can also be your landing page because, of course, a lot of people land on that page. So the question was, of these top 10 landing pages, which page has the second highest conversion rate? So for that, we are going to want to come over and look at transactions. Okay, however, this does not show conversion rate. Oh, can we scroll over? There we go. So you can scroll with this little thing. I'm showing kind of a smaller, I'm on my smaller screen on my desktop, on my setup. But if I come over here and then look at e-commerce conversion rate, I can go through here and try to find the second highest. So the basket, which would be considered a landing page, has 12% conversion rate. The reason why that is happening is because somebody might be adding products to their shopping cart, which in this case, Google Merchandise Store calls the basket or basket.html. And then they leave. Maybe they go to lunch with a friend and they come back to their computer and it's been 60 minutes. They've been inactive on the web or on the website for 60 minutes. So Google considers it a new session. Google Analytics does. I believe 60 minutes is kind of what they consider a session length. 60 minutes of inactivity or not loading new pages, it starts a new session. So people could be coming back and refresh the page. That would be basket.html would show up as their landing page, even though they didn't come to the basket page per se. It's just kind of where they had left off. And so because of that, it has a really high conversion rate because people already had purchase intent. Other than that, though, if you look at the next highest conversion rate, it is this one here at 3.13%. And if we come over, that is the, it looks like a Google redesign. Google Plus redesign? No, it's probably the plus is going to be just a space. So the Google redesign for men's apparel. So this would be the answer. The men's apparel Google redesign landing page. Lastly, for Google Analytics, I want to talk about shopping cart abandonments and show you where you can find that. So in the world of online retail and e-commerce, it's really nice if someone adds something to their shopping cart and they don't purchase and they leave it, they close the web page or the page is open. If you're like my wife, you have 35 tabs open at any given time. And maybe you had a tab open for something you were shopping for, you added it to the shopping cart, but then you thought, I don't know if I like the design of that skirt. I'm gonna go somewhere else and look and see if I can find something different. So you leave that tab open and you open a new one and go find a different product. What happens to that lonely tab that's laying out there? It could very well just sit there forever until your browser closes accidentally and for some reason it didn't save in the history and it's lost. That could be a shopping cart abandonment. Or someone could simply close the tab. They decided not to purchase it. There's lots of different reasons why someone may abandon a shopping cart online, right? So when that happens, the awesome thing about e-commerce is firms can try to regain those shopping carts, regain those customers by getting them to go back to their shopping cart and finish the purchase. There are different ways to do that. There's some really good email marketing techniques that you can use. They can run ads to people so that you can see display ads of the product that you were thinking of purchasing, etc. But before you can make those marketing mix questions, you need some further intel through some marketing research. And a great way to grab that intel on shopping cart abandonments is through Google Analytics. So let's see if we can find this. It's been a while since I've done this specific component, but how many shopping cart abandonments were there in the month of January? Let's come back to Google Analytics. Okay, and this is going to be under conversions. So the conversions menu has things like goals. You can set up custom goals. If you're launching a new product and you don't have it yet, but you want to get people coming to your website to sign up for more information about the product for when it does launch. Maybe you have a form on a landing page about that product, and they can fill in the form for more information, like, for example, giving you their email address. That could be a goal. You could say new product information signups is our goal. So you can set up custom goals, but our question is specifically about e-commerce and abandoned shopping carts. So we could look here at shopping behavior, checkout behavior. I think either shopping behavior or checkout behavior would have this, but we're going to look specifically at the checkout behavior graphs because it shows you, okay, so this checkout behavior is a little bit more nuanced because it's breaking the shopping cart process into billing and shipping, payment receipt, reviewing the order, and then purchasing. So if we come here to shopping behavior, I think it might have, yes, here we go. So all sessions. So if you have 66,000 people that visited, 66,000 different sessions that occurred in the month of January, 11,000 of those sessions actually viewed a product that is purchasable. They do not have the add to cart component set up. And so cart abandonment is going to show 0%. That does not actually mean that 0% is abandoning the cart, because instead they've probably simplified their checkout process. And so what we want to refer to is this right here, sessions with checkout. And there are 1,667. It says checkout abandonment right here is 728. So even though we cannot view full cart abandonment because of how Google Merchandise Store is set up, you can look at checkout abandonment. So people that added something to their cart and went to check out was 1,667, and those that actually did check out was 944. So there were 940 sessions of individuals completing a transaction. So the checkout abandonment there is 728. So if you were asked a shopping cart abandonment rate for this website and you came back with the answer of 728 sessions where they abandoned, then that would be, or you could say 43% of sessions that started the checkout process abandoned. Both of those would be equally adequate answers for how many shopping cart abandonments were there. So that is just a preview of Google Analytics. I did go into considerably more detail for this purpose than we did in class. And the reason is Google Analytics is a valuable tool for marketing research. And so I encourage you to leverage it. I encourage you to know it well going into any potential job interviews you have for marketing. Your first job interview you go into, if it is, excuse me, if it's for Nike and you're going to be managing their one of their social media accounts, or if it is for Whole Foods and you are going to be managing market segmentation to determine which store should be launching new products. If you're focused on something like that, whatever it be, you are most likely going to come across Google Analytics. And so if you can put Google Analytics beginner or intermediate knowledge on your resume and talk about that in your interview, it will be impressive and it will help you get a job for most marketing type jobs. This brings me up to an idea I have. So I've shown you Google Analytics. If you're going to go and work for Nike and you want to see if they use Google Analytics or not before you even go into interview, there's a little tip, a little trick I'm going to show you. Excuse me. So if you go to Nike.com, excuse me, I need to probably drink some water. I've got a little bit of a dry throat from talking so much. So hold on just a second here. Apologies. So if you go to Nike.com, you can view whether or not they are using Google Analytics, and you could do this one of two ways. So you can right click and go to inspect It's called something slightly different inside of Google Chrome. It might be called Inspector or Open Inspector or something along those lines. But if you go to Inspect, you can look through all the code. And if you come up to the header section or the footer section, you can often find what they're running. For example, they've got Google Ad services running here. They have Google Analytics, you can see right here in this code. However, I don't want to scare you, so don't feel like you need to open up that code. Instead, I encourage you to install a plugin in your browser. This is available in Google Chrome, but they've also made it available in Microsoft Edge. And I think it is likely available inside of Firefox as well, if you're using Firefox. But it's a plugin for your browser, and whenever you load a site, Wapalyzer is looking at the code on that site, and then if you click on it, Wapalyzer will show you what software the company is running on their website. So I can come through and see all the different apps that they're using. For example, for their analytics, they have Google Analytics here. They also have the Google Analytics Enhanced E-commerce. This is a little bit better tracking for e-commerce purposes. They also have Adobe Experience Platform Identity Service. So I do not think that they are using Adobe Analytics for their software, but they are using the Experience Platform. And this allows them to do testing and some really cool stuff with the Adobe software. But I do not believe they have Adobe Analytics based off of what I'm looking at here. So you could go into them and you could say, well, I see that you use Google Analytics, and I know how to use Google Analytics. That's really impressive if you can talk to a company and you already know what software they're using. So for example, Snap Pixel, they're doing Snapchat advertising, obviously, and they have a pixel on their site to determine if their Snapchat advertising is working. They're using Criteo, I believe that is a network that allows you to purchase ads across the web. I think New Relic is, I think they might be a network as well. But you can come through and you can see what they're running. You can see that they're using the React JavaScript library if you're doing something more technical in marketing. You can see for email that they're using Bluecore. Yeah, so this is a great place for you to come and get insight on someone that you're looking to work for or competitors, etc. So let's come back to this document and see what I'm going to show you inside of Sem Rush. So Sem Rush, where Google Analytics tracks information on your website, Sem Rush tracks things like advertising and search engine optimization across the web for a huge variety of brands. Generally, if it is a medium-sized business or larger, they're going to show up in Sem Rush and have a lot of detail. Most small businesses that are running ads will also show up in Sem Rush, but there won't be as much detail there. But a medium-sized business, so 50 plus employees or so, if they are doing advertising and they are one of your competitors, you can look them up in Sem Rush and get lots of valuable information. So first, we're going to look at Sem Rush, and we're going to switch gears here now. We are no longer working for the Google Merchandise Store. Now we are working for Ford. Okay, let's pretend we work for Ford and we want to see what Tesla is doing. We're going to release an SUV with really cool suicide doors that we think can compete with the Tesla Model X. But before we do that, we want to see how Tesla Model X is doing. So what are the top 4 Tesla Model X related keywords? For that, we're going to come here to Sem Rush. So I do not have a paid account of Sem Rush right now, so some of the results you'll see are truncated. If you want a full account, then I think it's around $130 a month, so it's a little bit pricier. I have had Sem Rush at most of my employers, and when I was very active in consulting, I also paid for Sem Rush myself because I used it for clients. But if you work for a company that does not have Sem Rush, I highly encourage you to to encourage them to pay for it. So when you first come to Sem Rush, you can enter up here, domain name, URL, keyword, whatever it be. We're going to do Tesla Model X and click search. So the default dashboard that it's going to show you in Sem Rush is their SEO dashboard, specifically their keyword overview, because this is where Sem Rush earns most of its money and provides most of its value. So if we come down, we can see different keyword variations for Tesla Model X. And this right here shows you, so the Tesla Model X keyword itself is garnering around 450,000 searches a month. Okay, and I believe this is across Google as well as Microsoft Bing, the search engine. So Tesla Model X has a lot of traffic, but so do model-specific keywords. So if someone puts the model year 2020 on there or 2021, both of those keywords are searching well. And then also pricing about Tesla Model X. And then we start to get into long tail. So how much is a Tesla Model X? So the top 4 keywords that are related to Tesla Model X are right here. Tesla Model X, 2020 and 2021, and then pricing information, and then this question, how much is a Tesla Model X? So that would be the answer to this question. What are the top 4 Tesla Model X related keywords? Next, let's take a look at long tail phrases. So we talked in class, I believe it was last time, we were talking about the value of focus groups. And one of the big values that you can get from a focus group is you can identify new phrases or keywords, vocabulary that your consumers are using when they're talking about you. That is so valuable for you as a marketer to know that. Another way that you can get similar information is through Sem Rush, looking at long tail phrases and questions that are being searched. So if you remember in class, it was an earlier session, I talked about the value of long tail. So a short tail keyword would be something like Tesla Model X. It is simply the name of the actual car model. But long tail would be something like Tesla Model X pricing. Okay, that's a little bit longer tail. But then if you have a even longer tail phrase, such as how much is Tesla Model X? How much is the price of a Tesla Model X? That is a very long tail phrase or a long tail keyword that if you can see consumers are searching that, it's very helpful because you can then create marketing content that speaks to that. For example, if you are opening a new dealership in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a Tesla Model X location where there's going to be actual vehicles they can go in and try, and you're not sure what you should put on your billboards before you go, and so you're going to run billboards all over the city to get people excited about this new dealership that's opening, but you're not sure what kind of marketing message to put on the billboard. In that situation, I encourage you to look at the long tail keywords. And one great spot that you can do that is through these questions that are coming up on Sem Rush. So how much is a Tesla Model X? How much does it cost? How much money is a Tesla Model X? So these are all very similar in nature. So valuable, but maybe redundant, right? So let's look at some other ones. How fast is a Tesla Model X? That's one that's not getting a ton of searches, 260 searches in a month. If Sem Rush is accurate, which in this case, I'll bet there are more people than 260 searching this phrase. But they may be searching different things. They may be searching speed of Tesla Model X. Okay, so there's different long tail keywords that you can come to. And so the question was, what are some of the most common long tail phrases being searched? So my answer would come from this. You can always click on this and it will drill into a longer tail keyword report, or you can come to keyword variations here and look for longer tail keywords, or you can go to related keywords. So this is keywords that aren't always necessarily Model X related, but can give you some interesting insights as well. So main organic competitors to Tesla. This is a great report because even if I'm working for Ford, I want to know who are the competitors for Tesla, because I'm going to release this new vehicle that is a Model X competitor, and I need to know who else is in the space other than Tesla. And because Tesla is kind of a unique product, especially their Model X, there's not a lot of competition out there, direct competition. Because of that, organic competitors often are other websites that are just writing content about Tesla. And that can be valuable to you as a marketer, because if they're writing content about Tesla and thus they are seen as a competitor somewhat for these online keywords, then you might want to reach out to them and get them to write about your product as well. So let's look at how you can find the competitors to Tesla. There's a lot of places that you can do that inside of Sem Rush. But I believe the best place I'm going to take you to is advertising. And let's look at the advertising dashboard. I think we'll have it. No. Okay. Maybe just domain overview. Yeah, market analysis, domain overview. So you come here and type in tesla.com, and it is going to show us a snapshot of overall traffic. And if you come down here, it shows the main organic competitors. So this is very valuable. This is not just showing information on Tesla. It's showing a lot of info about Tesla. You can see how much organic search Tesla is getting right here. 34.6 million sessions a month are going to Tesla.com from organic search. Organic search, some of you may not know the difference between organic and paid search. So let me show you this. So if you come here and search Tesla Model X, there are no ads because no one is dumb enough to compete with Tesla Model X, because they don't have a competing model. This right here is considered organic search. If there's a little thing right here that said ads next to it, then, or ad, then you know it was an ad. I believe, I have something pulled up here. I don't. Let's go to Google. Google gets more advertising dollars than Tesla, so sometimes stuff comes up. Let's search Tesla solar roof. This is something I was looking at earlier, and there are ads. So Tesla is trying to sell its home solar system kit, and so they're actually running ads for this keyword. Yes, this keyword is not Model X specific, but Tesla's not going to run a lot of ads around their cars because their vehicles are very, they sell themselves, so they don't need to run ads. But their solar roofs do not sell themselves, as you can see. So they're running ads for their solar roofs. This is considered a paid search position in the search engine result page. And this is considered an organic search position. Google is giving this traffic to Tesla for free because Google knows that when someone searches for Tesla solar roof, they want to see this page. Other pages, Tesla, The Verge writes some great articles about Tesla. EcoWatch, Forbes. So all of these are considered organic search results. Okay, so that is any traffic coming to Tesla.com from people that click on those organic links, that would show up here. Paid search traffic is people clicking on the paid links. That shows here. Backlinks. This is very important. If a different website links to you, they will, for example, let's come down here and look at the competitors, because I happen to know the main competitor is electrek.co. They write all sorts of cool blog posts about electric bikes, electric cars, etc. So if electrek.co posts a blog about the Tesla Model X, and they then link to the Tesla Model X website or Tesla.com itself, that link that is coming back to Tesla, that is called a backlink. So there are 20 million different backlinks. So there are 103,000 different websites that are sending traffic to Tesla by linking to them, and they're linking to them with 20 million backlinks. So on average, each site that is linking back to Tesla is doing so with 20 different links across their website. Okay, that's kind of showing you what is going on with Tesla at a high level. But if you come down here, you can see a list of their competitors. I believe all of these are just blogs that write about Tesla. So Tesla doesn't have any specific competitors. But for the purpose of this question, who are the main organic competitors to Tesla? You could put in the list of some of those blogs right here. So what trends can be observed in SERP position rankings? So the search engine result page, like I've been showing you. What trends can you see in the position for rankings? So that is a really cool ongoing report that you can set up in Sem Rush. I believe that is so position tracking right here. So you can do ad tracking. I think you can do it for SEO as well. Yeah, position tracking. So we're going to look at just the organic traffic, Tesla.com. And you click setup. Oh, it's not going to let me set it up because with this account I've already set it up for a different brand that I've probably shown in a class. However, what happens here is when you set up this position tracking, you put in the domain name and it will start watching your Google ranking for all of your top keywords. For example, Tesla Model X is a keyword for the brand Tesla and for the website Tesla.com. So Tesla Model X is going to be one of its main keywords. It's going to watch how your ranking moves on that keyword for Tesla.com. So if in the search engine result pages, the first thing that comes up is Tesla.com when someone searches Tesla Model X, then it would say that Tesla has the first position. However, if Ford comes along and starts writing a whole bunch of content about Tesla Model X and Google decides to put Ford's webpage up before Tesla, then Ford would get the #1 ranking and Tesla would get the #2 ranking. Okay, so this is what this is what position tracking is. It's simply looking at how your brand and your keywords are tracking across time. It looks at the trend of your keywords. So this is a very valuable tool that Sem Rush provides. So for this, you could look at some different trends. I'm not going to ask you on an exam any questions that you won't have access to in the free Sem Rush. Okay. Keyword overlap. So this is interesting. There are reports that show you how the keywords that Ford is ranking for would overlap with the keywords of the competitor Tesla. I believe I can find that report. So that is going to be under, I think the competitor, yeah, competitive research, and then the keyword gap report under search engine optimization. So here I'm going to put in Tesla.com, and here I'm going to put in Ford.com, and you can put in others as well. Let's put in Jeep.com, and let's hit compare. Very cool. So the area between all of these, so keywords that are being targeted by Tesla, Ford, and Jeep, there's 9,000 keywords. It would be interesting to click into the report and see what those are. If we're Ford, we have a bigger keyword map or ecosystem than Tesla does. We have 738,000 keywords that we're ranking for, and Tesla has 472,000. That doesn't mean that Ford is a more popular brand, even though it probably is if you add up all popularity of all of their vehicles. It just means that they have more keywords out there. Okay, and if you want to see where the overlap is, there are 44,000, well, there's about 45,000 keywords that both Tesla and Ford are targeting together. Okay, so this is a helpful report showing this. And you can look at the actual specific keywords here. For example, model is a keyword that Tesla ranks better for. They're ranking 6th place for the model keyword versus Ford ranking 81st and Jeep ranking 68th. However, Ford ranks better on trucks than Tesla because Tesla, I don't think, has released their truck yet, right? Maybe they have. I know they're releasing it soonish, if they haven't already. Jeep, if someone is thinking about specifications of the vehicles, Jeep is ranking better for that. Jeep is also ranking better for the new car search phrase. So this shows you how the different search phrases work out. And you can see that Ford ranks better on their larger vehicles like trucks, SUVs, trucks plural. So this can give you some interesting insights into where your content marketing or where your keyword efforts are for your firm compared to your competitors. 2 more here. So keyword overlap. Sorry, we already looked at that. The last one. So what outside parties are boosting the Tesla brand? So that is, so outside parties would be other individuals that are not owned by Tesla. Maybe there is some affiliation, maybe there's not, but who is helping the brand of Tesla? And for this, there are different reports you can go to see this. I think the content marketing dashboard is going to have, no, so this is a new feature that Sem Rush has released. This is really cool. This helps you. You can come in and do research around different topics and get ideas for what you can write about. And you can kind of manage that through this content marketing platform. So I thought they were going to have some backlink reports in here, but those are mostly living under the SEO still. So you'll come up here and go to link building and then look at backlink and analytics. Let's put in tesla.com. And the specific question was asking what outside parties are boosting the Tesla brand. So outside parties are other websites that are linking to Tesla and they're boosting the brand. You find that in the backlinks report. And you can come down and see. So these are the pages that are being linked to from Tesla or on Tesla from other sites. This is very important to see. You can see that the Cybertruck, which is the truck I think they're releasing now or soon or have just done so, I'm not following it that closely. It has 3,000 different websites that are linking into it. So if we wanted to analyze who is linking into that Cybertruck specifically, we could click this link and it will bring us in and show a table. So this would answer our question. The CE shop, which is interesting that it is linking to Tesla Model X because CE is for continuing education. I don't know why they would link to the Cybertruck page, but they are. Tesla Motors is linking to it. We Are the Mighty is linking to it. This site is linking to it, whatever that is, not caught. So with this report, if you are Ford, you could go to whoever writes for Heimkinotreff. It sounds like a German name. Swiss, right here. You can see that it is a Swiss website. So you could go to whoever's writing this Swiss website content and say, hey, I'm releasing a similar vehicle for Ford. I would love to get on a call and tell you a little bit about it in hopes that they will then write about you as well. Okay, so this could help you get some good insight into who is boosting the Tesla brand and then try to leverage that for your own purposes. So that is what I wanted to show you today in this recorded lecture. I hope this is helpful. I hope this is something that you can use as you're looking for jobs, as you're on the job market. If you can go in and talk about some of these these technical components of marketing, specifically these tools that marketers can use to do their job better. If you could talk about this in your interview, you're a lot more likely to land that job. So as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and let me know. Thank you.